So my first goal here is to not have a panic attack while talking to you guys. So, when I was 11 years old, I experienced my first panic attack. And since then, it kept my company. When I reached my 17, my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And as a teenager, you already have a lot to worry about, from which university you want to go to what major you want to pursue. And already I had the dream to pursue media and journalism, which is a failure to a family of engineers and doctors. I also had to take the decision if I want to study here or in Canada, because I lived in between. After a couple of months, my dad died. And I just couldn't take this country anymore. It's pollution that caused him sickness. It's fake medication that didn't really help him. So I did what I do best. I ran away. I went to a very good university in Canada called Université de Montreal. And after what I've been through, going there, I started experiencing severe panic attacks. And by raising hand, how many of you know what a panic attack is? Okay, very few. So, a panic attack by Mayo Clinic is defined as a sudden episode of intense fear that triggers severe physical reactions when there is no real danger or apparent cause. Panic attack can be very frightening. When a panic attack occurs, you might think you're losing control, having a heart attack, or even dying. And this is a very good definition though, but I want you to imagine with me. You can be in a test, and it's already very stressing, and you need to focus and to squeeze your mind. And I start to experience very heavy heartbeats, and I can't even look, and I feel dizzy, and I end the day at the hospital. I can be sleeping, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I start screaming and ask for help. And it's very embarrassing when you have roommates in the house. You just wake up the next morning saying, oh my God, I did it again. I embarrassed myself. And there's already a whole stigma behind mental health that physical pain is something, but already what you hear is even more painful. I've heard things like, you're acting so dramatic, you're overreacting. And sometimes even people say, why are you feeling guilty to be afraid of death? They find a reason to blame you even when you're in pain. And I remember one time, I came back from the emergency car because I thought that I had a heart attack. And then they took me back home because I had nothing, obviously. And my brother looked at me and said, you cannot continue like this. Everyone now is going to think that you're... And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, And he wasn't wrong. He just didn't help me. But he wasn't wrong because people really make fun of mental illness and everything in between. Even doctors. One time I went to a doctor and he started laughing at me. He told me you cannot experience a heart attack when you're just 17. And when I seek psychological help, I heard things like, we cannot give you medication, you're still too young, you have a life to live. So, you learn some coping mechanism on your own. Everyone learn his own. Mine, they change every once in a while because your body gets used to it and they don't work anymore. Sometimes it's just a cup of chamomile, a warm bath, a hug from a friend. And sometimes nothing. You just keep on breathing and hope that it will go away. And going through this, after a year of being in Canada, my mom called me and she asked me to come back here in Lebanon. And it didn't make sense to her that I'm there alone, she's here alone. And she was everything I had at the moment, so I had to face things for her. So I decided to do this. I dropped my courses, I booked a ticket, and I was coming here. And exactly when I was at the gate, waiting for it to open, I received an email. Jana, we are interested in you. It was from Holt University. I didn't even apply to Holt University. But they said they had my file from an academic partner, which is my university, and they are interested in giving me a full scholarship at any campus they want. And I remember I started crying and everyone was looking at me. And I felt like, God, it's already painful that I'm going to Lebanon. What are you doing to me? I had a ton of opportunities that I'm giving up just to be here with my mom again. And on a side note, your first visit after a loss is already the hardest because I felt that I lost my dad all over again. The house isn't like you expect. It's not like your memories. It's empty. It's cold. But I kept surviving for my mother. And then life smiled to me like her beautiful face. I started to have great opportunities because I came here to a small university that has instructors that are no less than any big university we as Lebanese obsess to go to, like Oxford, Hull, or Yale. And because the class is small, it's not 100 students at each class that the professors don't know even your name. They saw my skills and they helped me to get to where I should go to. I was invited to red carpet at NBC. I did master classes with the great Hollywood filmmakers. I started to go to social work that I wanted to go to, and even more things. And in this period of my life, I didn't experience any panic attack for 6 months. Maybe because I was just at ease, maybe because I was comforted. But then, when you least expect it, my panic attacks came back to the room. More hard than ever. I remember that for 1 month, I didn't leave my house. I remember that for 1 week, I didn't leave my bed. And in this week, actually, I didn't eat anything except for 2 tablespoons of cooked spinach and have a biscuit. And they were really very hard to swallow. And in this period, I was very sad because I wanted to be productive, because that was success to me, and I was already successful. I was already pursuing, doing short films and everything, and I couldn't stand the fact that I'm just in my bed. But after experiencing this heavy chest pain, I said, screw that. I don't care about productivity. I just want to be alive. I want, at the end of the day, to be here with my family on this planet, literally. And this is when I came to the realization of one rule that I want you to adapt with me. Live first, work later. You cannot give if you didn't take care of yourself. You cannot help if you didn't heal. It is not selfish to take care of yourself and just chill sometimes. It is essential to not hurt and bleed on others. And after that, I was encouraged by my surroundings and my family to seek medical support, and I started taking medications. I started taking antidepressant medications, and they helped me to be better. My panic attacks went lower, and it was great. This is when I was accepted to come and talk here. And I was planning on telling you how great I am doing and to inspire you that you can do it. And yes, you guessed it right. My panics came back again. And I was really mad because I want to be here to tell you that you can do it. I want to be here to inspire you that you can make them go. But I cannot be the hero in the story anymore. I cannot lie and tell you I'm doing great. I'm not. And this is when I came to the realization of we were taught when we were kids that success is not always the absence of problems, it's how you solve them. And I want to tell you that we don't always solve them. Sometimes they just do. And what matters is how brave you are while facing them. And I can say I'm very proud of myself in this because I came to university in days I thought that I was dying. I came to work in days I was having all the symptoms of a heart attack. And I am the CEO of telling myself I will live until tomorrow, hopefully. And panic attacks, this is when I added this point, which is to accept yourself. It's a part of me now. Like, you can have friends for 5, 6 years? My panic attack's been with me for 10 years now. Even my dad, who was the most supportive through this, and who took me on walks 4 a.m. when I can't breathe, and slept next to me in nights is not here today, but my panic attack still is. But I know that at least God will be with me through this until it ends. And that will make me happy, actually. So, the gift of a panic attack made me learn something, which is to be grateful for everything. Like, you know when you hear somebody went through a car accident and they come after it and their whole perspective of life has changed? I went through this like 3 times every week minimum. And every time I wake up of one of my panics, I change something. I take a new decision. I take more risks. And most importantly, I will be more grateful. For simple things, moments with families that you take for granted. Even the breath you're taking right now, there are people on machines that wish to have this. And I'm very grateful to be here with you to tell you about this story and that I made it through and I didn't die in one of these panic attacks. So, one second. Don't run means a lot of things. From not running from people, from places, from decisions, from things, from yourself maybe. It means also that maybe your country needs you more than ever to be successful from here. From here, I built a cancer fighting website in honor of my dad. I'm doing the film work that I love to do. I'm filming ads, I'm doing social work, and I'm being successful from here. My word for you guys, don't run. Don't plan your life around the idea of running. Life has a lot to offer you from where you are. Start here. Thank you.